SOS, Vet SOS podcast, for connecting these amazing veterans to our segment where we highlight military vets are doing great work. And my guest today is Peter Cline, and we're going to talk about his organization. Peter, what is that organization?
MilMentor, and thanks so much for having me.
I appreciate it. So, Peter, tell how this started. How did it develop?
Yeah, so MilMentor started really because a group of veterans saw the impact that mentorship was having for the military community. And there was a solution in the past that folks had used to find mentors that went down. And so the need to build a bigger mentorship solution had been around for a while, but it was really became pronounced at the end of last year. We had a bunch of folks reach out to us saying they needed help, and so we started building.
And you built from there to, and I think it's so important to mentor. And what kind of mentoring do you do? Is it only certain people that are just transitioning, or are you offering it for any military veteran?
Yeah, it's really unique. So any veteran can use it, and it's everything from career mentorship to education to using your benefits. There's mentors from career education advisors to professionals at Google and Amazon. As
Wow.
veterans, military spouses, members of the Guard and Reserve, and military families can use it for free.
How did you get this all? You came up with the idea, but how, this seems pretty broad for what you've done.
Yeah, it's definitely a big undertaking. I think really the goal was to provide a easy platform to connect folks for one-on-one, really easy, casual, one-off mentorship calls. This isn't a long-term commitment, but it lets senior professionals who are busy set 30 minutes on their calendar that they can help someone. And so that lets us, by providing the platform, it attracts really amazing mentors. So providing the expertise has been really easy. It's just fostering the connection.
And I think that fostering and the connection is such an important thing for sure. And when they're getting that mentoring advice, how did you get these people involved to be part of this?
Yeah, so the military community, I think one thing that's very unique about it is there are thousands and thousands of veterans and military spouses who are leading companies. FedEx, Walmart, Sperry Shoes, all started by veterans. And there are veterans who are everything from entry level to VPs at the nation's leading companies. And they want to help each other. They want to open doors for one another to get in. But they're all busy, they're building their careers, they have families. And so providing this really easy way, you integrate your calendar, and when you're available, we'll check for you. You can do a mentorship call. A lot of folks want to volunteer. And so right when we put it out, we had hundreds from these leading companies sign up almost immediately. No paid marketing, nothing.
Wow. And that's great. That's got to feel great when you had that happen. So the process, if I'm a veteran that wants mentorship, what do I need to do?
Yep, you sign up for free on milmentor.com. You'll see a feed with mentors from a bunch of different companies. If, for instance, you wanted to work in cybersecurity, you could go up at the top and search mentors by cybersecurity. You'd see this big list at companies like Google and IBM. When you see one that you like, or multiple, because you can do as many as you want, you click on their profile. It'll show their available times that they've already given us. You just click one and hit request a time. And then when that mentor accepts, you can either do a phone call where we call both of you automatically and then connect you at call time, or a Zoom where we send both of you a calendar invite.
So how do you recruit them? It's a lot of work. Do you have a team, or is it just, for the short period of time you've been doing this foundation?
Yeah, so there's 5 of us, and it is a for-profit business. I should put that out there too. And it's part of a recruiting business. And so we are not fundraising on the side. We run a profitable business and have chosen to build this and make it free for users because we see a lot of value in it. And that being said, there's a team of 5 of us. I can't code. So if it was me alone, it would look pretty bad. But there's a team of 5 that is top notch. I am the mouthpiece right now, but certainly not the driving force.
So when basically you talk about the whole process of putting it all together this is a for-profit organization offering this to veterans. So go into specifically the people that are not military veterans that use this platform.
Yeah, so there are plenty of folks who are professionals who want to find a way to mentor somebody and give back, but they don't want to do a long-term multi-month commitment. They just want to be able to say, hey, I'll provide a mentor as long as it's free for the end user and you're not monetizing my expertise. I'm happy to be a mentor and make a difference for someone. And so for folks who are not from the military community, it's as easy as signing up. They connect their calendar and can say, you know what, on Fridays from 4 to 5, I'm willing to take requests. And then we'll check their calendar, make sure they don't have a conflict. And then mentors, if not, or mentees can request that time from them. So it's very passive for them. They connect their calendar, get requests, and accept them when they want. And then for us, it's we go out and find these professionals who want to support military veterans and spouses in the transition and make it very easy for them.
I got it. But is that, you said that's the whole business in general? So you
Got it.
don't charge the veteran. Who do you charge?
Got it. Yeah. So there's a completely separate side of our business where we run hiring events and do recruiting for companies. And so this part of the business, MilMentor as a whole, will have sponsors and there will be a job board at some point, both of which can make money. But as of now and for the foreseeable future, it is basically a loss center for us, but we're okay with it because there's some brand value in marketing, but really the benefit is tons of veterans and spouses are getting hired. And we started in the nonprofit world. I'll say that as well. Both my co-founder and I also have started nonprofits that are still running. And we've seen the difficulty of growing a small nonprofit and not having equity to give to early employees, having to deal with compliance issues. And so chose to go this way. It's a little more scalable, but are very much for the public benefit.
Got it. I understand what you're talking about. When you're recruiting for the job market, what is that company's name?
Still, it's Service to Success. So I was going to say still Service to Success, but yeah, so Service to Success runs the fairs, does the recruiting, and then owns MilMentor, which is the sub entity that adds the mentorship platform.
I got it. So let's talk about that a little bit. Talk about that organization.
Yeah, definitely. So it is as of July of last year, we started, and it really started with a bang. We had some initial kind of push to start the business, in that my co-founder and I have been in this community for a while and have relationships with a lot of these companies, in that they would support our nonprofits or come to events. We started getting requests for contingent recruiting or consultative services that were way beyond the scope of the businesses we ran. We didn't have capacity for, and were not what our donors were donating to do, give one-on-one services to a for-profit. And so for a while we were saying, we just can't support you, we're sorry. But we realized we could start a for-profit business, grow it, and help these companies hire from the military community, and then also use some of those profits to kick back and support scholarships at nonprofits. So this perfect setup is how we envisioned it, and it really has turned out that way. And that we got off to a really strong start with a number of big companies like Tech Systems and ManTech, and now another Data Center Solutions, to do both recruiting and events with them, and then had amazing companies like Amazon and others at our event. So took off like a bang, to the point now where we can turn around and support veteran nonprofits, which was the ultimate goal. And so it feels really good to be at that point.
It definitely sounds fantastic, and it's exciting what you're doing for sure. And what are you seeing in the job market right now? Trying to find jobs. What's happening? Where areas, sectors are still busy at this point?
Yeah, it's interesting. You would expect from the outside to see defense contractors hiring less, which is not the case. We are still seeing a lot of demand for technical roles. And so there's been talk in the job market that cybersecurity roles or IT roles are now in a glut and nobody's hiring for them. It's not the case. We're seeing a lot of demand. And one thing that, is I'm saying on behalf of Peter Cline and not my business, is one thing I could see happening 10 years from now. The effect of a lot of the public sector layoffs is a Reagan era kind of brain drain to the federal government, where we end up firing a lot more people than we actually can afford to. And then we will rent them back from a consultancy or a contractor at a premium in the future. But that is my personal opinion. That has nothing to do with my business.
That's why we always go full cycle, even with AI and all these different things. We just learn to evolve or we die. That's pretty much what you have to do. And you just have to go with the flow. Best place people can find information on you, Peter. Where can they go?
Yeah, milmentor.com is the best place for mentorship, or servicetosuccess.com if they want to learn about the recruiting or hiring events.
All right. You're listening and watching The Neil Haley Show, and we'll be back in just a moment.